Hello, how are you? This is Thoran here for the Daily Grind on DC Legends. I'm just going to do this time, this is going to be a quick video because it's only my PvP board on my main account. And I'm slowly climbing up from not finishing on top 10k last week because I wasn't pushing for Bizarro. But now I'm going to do a push for a top 1.5k to get my Brainiac shards. But here's something that I wanted to show you because I was talking about this on a previous video. Focusing too much on meta tunes. If it loads, here it is. I don't know who Ranveer is, but he obviously went for a reverse flash build. This account looks like it's pretty recent, like maybe 6, 7 months old, because I don't remember a Superman sale that was recent. We were all pretty much stuck with a low legendary Superman if you don't invest money to get his shards, and that was also a comment I saw on a post about a guy not complaining but stating that there should be an event for Superman because he is so rare. He hasn't been that much rare really. He was available for a long time as a rare toon on the Alliance store. That's how I got him to Legendary 2. He's gotten several PvP weeks last year or this year, but near the beginning. I don't remember exactly when. It was the 80th anniversary of Action Comics #1 when Superman debuted. And one of the blitzes, one of the special tournaments, so that's pretty recent, featured him, and you got if you clear the board, I believe you got 81 PvP token, something like that. But Superman has been available, and as you can see, out of all his toons, or the tunes that he uses for PvP, he has a high level Superman, high rank Superman, and I'm only my own Superman only has more power because I'm Legendary 4 and he is Legendary 3. So, but he has a Legendary 2 Reverse Flash, and if he has been following all the PvP weeks that Reverse Flash has had, and the special tournament, I believe it was one of the first special character showdowns that rewarded you with several Reverse Flash shards. I was able to take mine from rank 3 to Legendary 1, and I stopped there because I'm really not interested in the character. But it was free shards anyway, so I took it. And I was kind of still wanting to know what the fuss was all about, even though I have never used Reverse Flash. But anyways, but you can see that he has a low considering that Wonder Woman Defender has been very available throughout the entire life of the game. Wonder Woman Defender has gotten heroic challenges, PvP weeks. She has been on the PvP packs. She has been on the Alliance store. And she is back again at the Alliance store. She has been a board clear and everything. And she only has her Legendary 2. That tells me that this is a very recent account. That's a theme related to chasing the meta, and threat assessment. You can read, this is the real metagame. This is what metagaming is about. I can almost pinpoint exactly when these guys started playing, and this isn't even a 1 year old account. I rate it at around 8 months, at most 6 months, the the least, but it's not a 1 year old account. Why? Because even a 1 year old account will have an even higher Siren, and she has a legendary 3 Siren. Siren has also gotten a heroic challenge, he has gotten PvP weeks, and she has been on the red alerts reward list for quite a long time. So that tells me that this is more or less a newbie account compared to the guys that have been playing from the start. Why he doesn't field a Wonder Girl Cassie? That must be because he doesn't have her legendary, and it's very rare nowadays. If you have a Wonder Girl Cassie, it's very rare to not feel her, because even though you might call her overpowered or something like that, or you feel that it's an unfair character, she has been a meta game changer, because having a Wonder Girl Cassie allows you to cover a lot of eventualities on the enemy team when you put your team on defense. As far as we know, when you win a PvP fight with composition, that composition becomes one of your defense teams, and it's very rare not to use her. I'm not going to use her because that will make this encounter very easy, and I want to showcase a 10.5 gear 11 General Soth. And I'm counting on Reverse Flash to make a critical strike. I'm not really interested in the points in this fight. I'm just going to showcase that you don't have to feel Cassie to counter. It will make things easier, but I have two guys who kind of counter Siren, because Superman has a knock and miss move, and Sod is already can't miss on all his moves, and he does special damage. So even though I'm at an affinity disadvantage versus this team, I should be able to win. And the similarly powered teams, none of his characters are over 7,000 points except Superman. So Superman is full gear 11, but the other ones aren't. So I'm going to go into this fight with this team. Why Red Robin? I need someone who can purge the evasions and has a can't miss move, and that's his Baton. Yes, this was what I was counting on. So now I taunt again with Superman just to draw fire away from all the other guys. And I have exactly what I need. I'm going to burn a turn with Soth to buff. And I'm going to try to get rid of... Well, I'm going to give Superman some strength downs. I'm going to get 6 points on this, no matter what. So I don't care if I 3-star. And that guy, I don't know what upgrades he took. You can check what the opponent has available, but I'm going to try to one-shot Reverse Flash. And there you go. And this is not a full gear Sod, so he can also one-shot same affinity characters. And now I'm going to try to get rid of Siren, because she is going to be a pain in the butt later on, and I'm going to keep her from getting more evasions. Oh no, now I can't. Okay, try to stun Superman then. And that's Bane doing his job. See, the thing with Soth that many people are passing over that fact is that all his moves are special damage, and he has a ton of intelligence. So he is able to deal real damage when he gets his gear ups. Of course, if you are only up to gear 7, gear 8 or gear 9, you are not going to be seeing this, because that's not where the meat of his upgrades are. All the guys nowadays need their gear 11. And Superman only has a very moderate defense against Soth, and mainly his advantage is that he self-heals, and he can prevent Soth from getting his buff through this, and has a stun. But on damage alone, Soth has the advantage. Even to Superman is has a mixed tank, I believe, gear set. So what he has going for him is, once he gets the full overheal, he is very, very difficult to bring down, because that's 56,000 HP that you have to eat. And just like that. And I knew that Red Robin wasn't gonna make it, but he was able to tank at least one hit from Reverse Flash. And that's another thing. Reverse Flash is not the threat that he used to be, because now everybody has their correct HP, and so he has some functionality, he has some utility. Once you get rid of his damage capabilities, Reverse Flash is just dead weight on PvP nowadays. And I'm going to do the rest just to cash in my board clear reward. Now this is another one, this is another easy one. Also, some people were claiming that General Zod is slow. General Zod is not slow, he is 115 or 116 speed at max gear. And he gets Turn Meter from his buff. So if his Turn Meter procs, when his Turn Meter procs, he basically gets 2 turns in a row, always. Because other toons can't outspeed him, and he can pretty much one-shot every red on the game. So he is an asset. That's why I decided to gear him up. And he pretty much spells the death of the Batgirl meta. I'm just going to protect Red Robin here. And just like that. Real easy. And this team, I only gear up guys that I actually like. And just very rarely I end up choosing one of the meta toons. Cassie, I liked her kit. I don't like Cassie as a character. Uh, she is from the modern era in comics. I don't know, maybe from 15, 12 years ago. 15 years at most. Um, but her kit is amazing. I wish they would have fixed her original passive because it keeps proccing without six buffs on the enemy toon, or not six buffs on the toon that is actually getting a turn. And you see that critical there just neutralized Wonder Woman DOJ. She's only a threat with her lasso throw, not with the rock. I want her to use the rock, but I'm going to try to stun her because Superman can kill her. And there, with that one, if she's full gear and full level, she can kill Superman. She can one shot Superman with that. But I'm going to try to get rid of Schmuck. Just barely. So now it's my turn. I'm going to have to stun him because I didn't bring anybody capable of one-shotting him. And I'm going to put the strength downs on him. Oh, double and maybe triple. There, he's neutralized. And okay, I'm going to protect my guys. That should make Superman taunt. I don't know why sometimes that move, it crits. That boulder from Wonder Woman crits, but doesn't proc the Superman leader. I don't know why. And I have it maxed at 100%. And it's good that there's a Satana here, because some people still claim that she's useful. And it's really not. She's only making this fight last longer, but I'm gonna win it. Anyways, she's a non-factor in this fight. She might as well not be here. See? I prevented him from getting buffs with Superman, and that's how you deal with Schmuck. If you bring a toon that has buff immunity, Schmuck and Power Girl are useless. So they're easily dealt with. You can see my team is not meta. They don't have any particular synergy. I didn't bring anybody who can turn invisible to enable Red Robin, because he needs to be invisible to enable half of his kit. I'm going to leave that Captain Cold for last. And really, none of my characters in this team that I'm fielding right now, not one of them has synergy with the other. Except if anybody gets a critical hit on, Superman taunts, but that's about it. And the only guy who kind of retaliates is General Zod. And General Zod is on Batman Beyond duty. And for Batman Beyond, you use your can't miss guys. So he's out. And now we are going for, I believe this isn't even gear 10. They're not doing enough damage. Oh well. I got lucky there. And still Bane, if he hasn't gotten hit and you get your first turn, the best thing you can do is use the Venom Injection. Why? Because that way you protect him versus a Loki critical from some toons. Or from a cyborg missile if you go against the cyborg. But I'm really, really happy with my General Zod. And if I didn't go the usual way or the things that other people are recommending, I took his passive and his upgraded buff. So his buff lasts 2 turns. And you might say, well, you are low on the ladder, you are not facing the meta teams. That's how you test if a character is good. You take a not an ideal team and you make him face different scenarios. Now, again, I can bring in Cassie and make my life a whole lot easier, but I want to know just what the limits on General Zod are. And this one is probably gonna be a very long fight, maybe over 5 minutes, because of the retaliations involved. And that cheetah there can probably kill either Superman or General Zod on round 1, but I'm fairly confident that I can do this. And I have been facing many Mad Jesters, and I've gotten very lucky with the random number generator. I haven't gotten enraged that much, but I want to see if I get an enraged stuff. See, usually with other characters, this is doom for my team because I wasn't able to take the taunt with Red Robin, but I don't care because I have thought now he has 3 intelligence downs. That's going to reduce his overall damage, but should be enough to kill him. Didn't crit. Now that's bad. But Superman held the fort. Ouch. So Superman is gonna keep taunting. And I have to get rid of that Batman. So I'm going to stun him. And let's keep trying. Let's keep trying. Believe me or not, Bane is also a good control tool, not on meter, but since you can disable a lot of characters and force them to do next to no damage, it's very useful in that regard. My Zod doesn't have his second HP upgrade. That's what I'm going to try to get today. Come on, Robin, crit. God damn it. Team, I was counting on you. You know, sometimes Batman Knight surprises me with the amount of damage he can dish out. This is going to be a nightmare to finish. Okay, set buff and got turn meter, and he just brought this upon himself. Okay, we are cool. With both characters stoned. Now this is just a matter of keeping the damage up. All my characters are faster, well, except Bane. But that's how fights against... even if I brought the blue, this was going to be a long fight because he gets shield every time. But at least with Bane, I keep him from doing damage. So he's not going to kill anybody now. And all I need is a few lucky stuns from Superman. And as long as nobody taunts, he doesn't get meter. And he doesn't get more shield. I can't stun him and I can't allow myself to burn a turn with Bane. Because I need to keep the damage up. I have to keep him without shields so he doesn't get his mends, so he doesn't get sustained, and just keep pounding on him. Well, Sword is doing a lot of damage because that's special damage. And this fight is done. Threat assessment. Batman Dark Knight is difficult. I'm going to do a video on threat assessment because that is more about figuring out who the most dangerous character is on the enemy team versus what you are going to field. Some guys, for example, Batman TDK is very difficult if you bring taunters. As soon as you bring anybody who can taunt, for example, Wonder Woman DOJ has a very hard time dealing with Batman TDK. And there we are. Now I get another point for expenditure. I'm going to go for... The nice part about being so low on the ladder is that you start seeing a lot of different builds. Now this needs Cassie, because I need someone... to deal quickly. I need someone to deal quickly with the green guys. And since Cheetah is going to put the strength up on everybody, then I get double strength ups with Cassie, with her buff. And this was going to be a quick video, and now it's half an hour long. But that's how things develop. And I mainly want to finish Schmock. Arky Schmock has to go. He is a threat. But now that he's gone, we're going to leave Cyborg Superman for last, because he can't one-shot anybody on my team. We just get rid of Cheetah, who can one-shot many of my guys. Let's try to stun her. Well, didn't work out. And Cyborg Superman is only a bother in situations like this where you have a toon that buffs a lot, so he gets a lot of shield from his basic. But outside of that, this is just for the meter. It doesn't benefit Zod. And Cyborg Superman is immune to critical, so Zod is at a disadvantage. But we control him with Bane, so he doesn't do damage, and then we start piling up debuffs on him just because. because Cyborg Superman has no way of cleansing himself. If you debuff him, you can control him pretty easily. And that was PvP for the daily grind. You see many different combinations, and Soth saved the day on many of them. I might upload some of these. These are holdovers from the Deathstroke meta. Oh, this one is nasty. But buff immunity and all of them are gone. And let's see this other one. This one is dangerous, even though it isn't high power. Critical chance down from Raven. Robin can put bleeds and go invisible, but that would enable my own Red Robin. But that Solomon Grundy is trouble. Needy Salmon. Some of the nicknames from other players are very, very funny. I enjoy it a lot. Alright, this is Deathstroke meta from way back then. It's not a Lobo, thankfully. But I think a full green team will make short work of this. Let me see if I can buy PvP energy. No, I don't have PvP energy, so that will have to wait. But anyways, I'm finishing my quests for today. I only have to get more shards, 10 more shards, so that's from red alerts. If you want to see a full run of red alerts, let me know, because I'm finding it very difficult nowadays. Not because the difficulty itself, but because these teams that are just obnoxious to fight. Deathstroke lead, when you have to take care of that power girl before anything else, because she spins out of control. Super fast team with healing, and you can self buff because there's Cassie there, but there is nobody taunting, so I can gear up my hard gun Deadshot to maximum and boom, sniper from the start. I'm seeing tons of obnoxious. I don't know if other high level players are seeing stuff like this on their red alerts. I try to clear mine, but I don't usually lose time anymore because I don't need shards from here any longer. Well, today it's Swamp Thing, so I'm going to try to finish it. But nowadays I just don't bother anymore. Not even for the gold. And just to close the video, I'm going to show you my level 70. Almost full gear 11. I'm going to fully gear him today. See? You know how people complain that you need a lot of material 3 for gear 11? You know, that's not actually true. The thing you need the most is, depending on the character, it changes, of course, but for example, Soth is asking for a lot of this, of Astro Force energy level 2. You need like, because this one was 45. I have already farmed like 200 Astro Force level 2, and I still need 45 and 45, and I still need 90. That's going to cost me like 400 gold at least. And I need oh no, that's 140. So it's going to be like 600 gold and 25 Astroforce level 3. You only need 60 Astroforce level 3 for General Sod. It only changes depending on the type of gear. For the guy that said that the classifications were inaccurate or that didn't make sense, there was a post stating what type of gear each character has. I haven't checked. I usually don't bother. I just go by the end results like this. Sod is ending up with 2200 intelligence, so that's a lot of special damage. I can still get 2000 more HP, so he's going to have 23,000 HP, and his speed is 117, so he is fairly fast. Fairly fast. And he's still going to get another 2% critical chance, so he ends up with 35 critical chance base. And with his leader, or if he is under Deadshot Hardgun leader, he has over 50% base chance of critical. And he goes, once you account his passive, he ends up with almost 300 critical damage. That means that he has almost 50% chance of scoring a critical, and if he did 1000 damage with a critical, if he did 1000 damage on a normal attack, that means on a critical he's going to do almost 3000 damage. That's how much his damage scales. I need to up my Hardgun Deadshot because I'm pretty certain that on round 1 he can take care of any character on the field, because it's special damage. The only guys he's not going to be able to one-shot are super tanks like Grundy, Doomsday, Lobo, and the heavy intelligence mystics like Dr. Fate, Satana, and whoever. But using his third move, which is the one I'm going to upgrade next, cooldown -1 for all of Sod's abilities if the enemy is killed. You are going to be killing a lot of people with this move, so if it gives a -1, that means that you can keep buffing over and over again. And my build is going to go like this: 4, 2, 3, 1. Because I am going to very rarely use him as leader, but I'm also gonna max his chances. 15% critical for all allies. You can see, I'm committed to General Sod. He has all his abilities maxed out. Just for the sake of comparison, I'm going to show you one of my main go-to leaders, and as you can see, I haven't maxed Wonder Woman Princess because she doesn't need it. She doesn't need her full skills. I only maxed Zeus for the purges and the leader skill because that grants you 100% chance of triggering the extra attack. Be it the self purge or the extra Fury of Zeus. That's for comparison's sake. And also I haven't finished upgrading Superman. He has most of his skills maxed out, but he has been Kryptonian physiology has been like that for ages, and it has never let me down. So whatevs. And I believe Cassie is also maxed out. And a Birthright, which gained one or more buffs. Yeah, that's been like that for ages, and it has. She isn't even max gear, and she's still workable like that. And some others are like this. I don't max my tunes if they don't need it. You usually only max skills if you actually need. Um, like this chlorokinesis, I don't see the point on adding another 1% chance to a thing that procs every round. And these ones, I was talking in another video that if you are counting, I just wanted to test this, and I regret bringing it so high, because if you're banking on something dying just to get an awareness on your whole team, then your strategy needs revising. Seriously. Seriously. You shouldn't be aiming to something to die. If you feel something, he should be there for as long as possible so he is able to proc his basic time and time again, because that's self-sustained. And I'm going to bring him to Legendary 5 just because I can. I want to see. I haven't seen videos of Force of Nature upgraded. I am told that it's a very pitiful overheal, but his bug sports is 3%. True overheal, so it's not diminished by intelligence down, and it's not affected by the intelligence of the recipient. That's just the 3% of the HP bar overhealed every time you use his basic. But I want to see what Force of Nature does, and eventually, if I feel like it, because I'm interested in his debuff duration, that will be a 3-round 2 strength downs for that, and it's a fairly high damage move. I haven't upgraded anymore because the damage is already good even at this point at level 4. I mean, it's not a move that usually one-shots or bring the enemy team down to half HP, but that's not how I classify it as decent damage. I mean, for a move that is an AoE and puts strength downs, it does decent damage. But anyways, that was it for today. That was the discussion. General Zod is a very valuable, at least for my roster, for my style of play. He's a very valuable asset, and he is the guy that's going to force me, because I only have Deadshot to gear 9 because of the and it's not even full gear 9. He is like this because every day I put some XP agent and I up some gears on him. And as you can see, I haven't invested rings on him for the longest time. I don't even bother finishing the red alerts when he's featured anymore, because I don't plan to bring him to Legendary 5. Eventually, in the very long run, he is going to be L5 capable, but I'm not going to bring him to Legendary 5. He is not one of my main tunes. But now that he has a very useful synergy with General Zod, that's going to be my anti-Batgirl meta. And after upping General Zod, I'm going to bring this girl to Legendary 3. And that's because, just because of this. A can't miss move on her basic without the legendary upgrade. If you can get Terra, if you're having trouble with the Batgirl meta, get Terra because she doesn't miss. And she puts evasion down. She needs a lot of different upgrade 3 now that she was reworked. And she's kind of still, but at least if you upgrade her basic, she has a decent chance of using a heal immunity on the target. So there is that. She can also help you with the Atrocitus meta. I haven't needed her because I have an overabundance of energy characters geared up. But she is an option. She is being made available in the past. She might return in the future. I'm just saying, for the guys who have her and are complaining about certain tunes in the meta, now that General Sword is up, but because maybe you are a new player and don't have Hired Gun near usable, you could go with a General Sword lead and a Terra side dish. But that's, again, my humble opinion. I'm repeatedly told that I don't hang out at the top 100, so I don't know. But once you know how the tunes play, not at lower levels, but top 5K and up, you start seeing the meta teams because the algorithm arranges it so that you are always facing similarly powered teams. Like, I'm still very low on the ladder and I'm facing guys with almost 30k power, like this guy, or this guy. They might not have. I'm gonna win because I have the tools to win here. But if you go to top heroes, and for example, you check on Miller Time what teams he's fielding, then you already know what to expect. It doesn't matter if they can revive, it's just a chance of reviving. But if your guys can one-shot them, why would you be worried? This one is more difficult because of Supergirl. Because it doesn't matter if your critical was going to be for 40k. Once Supergirl is on the field, now that she doesn't have to be leader to make use of that passive, your critical damage is effectively halved. So it would be a 20k hit. And at gear 11, all of the guys have over 20k damage. So you can't one-shot anybody here. And you can bring heavy buffers because of Wonder Girl. So it depends on what team from Miller Time you're facing. This one, same problem as before. You can't one-shot them because they're Supergirl. And you can even bring healers or sustain because Supergirl has a heal immunity on her passive. On her basic, I mean. What else is there? Yeah, this one you just bring greens and it's over with. This is a nasty one because you can't. You have to get rid of Etrigan and you have to get rid of Wonder Girl, but Donna Troy won't allow you. And if you start killing people, then John Constantine grabs all over you. And this one, This one is banking on Etrigan or Red Robin making a round 1 kill and enabling Larfleeze. But critical immune team like Aquaman led team, Aquaman King led team with heavy greens will take care of that. But you just have to have the options available. Anyways, now seriously, that's all for this quick quote unquote video. So how do you deal with those making threat assessment? If you're pushing for a high rank on PvP, then you have to play smart, and playing smart usually involves using gold. So for example, here I already did one, but since there are no 14 pointers, I will have to refresh and look for 14 pointers, try to win them, refresh and refresh and refresh, and only go for the high points. And that's the discussion that we're having right now, that it's unfair for the high level guys to be punished for having their teams at full power. Because I'm starting to see it. I don't mind, I don't push for top 100. But I still feel, and I support them completely, it's unfair that they have to spend more money, even more money, just to rank high. Because the way the metagame is set right now, you don't get as many defensive teams. Defensive wins are not going to carry over because one guy that is around your level but decided to leave their meta team less geared is going to outscore you. You will have to win, I don't know, 10, 20 times in an hour defensively just to get 40 points, and he can do that with just 3 wins in less than 1 minute. So that's really unfair. Anyways, that's that for this video, and I invite you again to subscribe, leave comments, leave me feedback, comment on the Reddit forums. We are a very helpful community, even if I am not particularly enjoyable on the forums. I strive to bring the free players and the newbies up so we have an even playing field, because it's more interesting when more people participate, when there is a challenge to get high above. Ranking on the PvP ladder, for me, it's not about the actual place you rank at, but how you got there. And it has to be an even playing field, and currently it's not an even playing field when the guys on the lower end of the power scale are having an easier time reaching a top position. So what does it matter if you bothered to get your special super well designed team if you have to spend gold just to outpace a guy who just started playing? That's the unfair thing, not the money spent, or not that some guys can spend more money than the others, but the fact that they have to spend, they are being forced to spend to compete with guys that if the low level guys appear on their board, they are not even worth the PvP energy to defeat them, because it's both an easy win with no challenge and it's for very low points. That's the unfair part. I feel that if a 30k guy goes against a 30k guy, that fight is way more difficult to 3 star. Random generator or not, at that power level, when everybody is at least level 70 and gear 11, the fights are more difficult to 3 star. And you get punished for not 3 starring them. That's the unfair part. That's all for today. I don't say to you goodbye, I say you we'll see each other the next time. Keep grinding.